Good morning, everybody here. First of all, thanks to MIT University and the management here, engineering faculty management, Dr. Shukla, for giving me an opportunity to come over here and share with you my thoughts on the topic called emerging drivers for global competitiveness. But before I start, I'd like to say a few words. You have heard very interesting insight from my esteemed friend sitting on the dais. Mr. Bakshi shared his vision, his experiences, and the global perspective, the global view, and how Indians have brought pride to the nation by buying companies outside, by proving the skills and the mental of the Indian leadership that we can also manage outside the world. We are global people, we are globally trained, and we have the same skill set as anybody would have in the world. Then we heard Mr. Goende, and he shared with you a very passionate talk about how he started his career, changed himself to an entrepreneur, and now where he is leading a group of companies. And what he wants to see coming out as a manager when you come and you pass out and you come out and join any one of the organizations or corporations, what is expected out of you. So he shared with you his viewpoint, which is very practical, and we expect all that, and you are expected to deliver that when you come and join any one of the companies. That's what is expected. So it's very important that the messages you are getting here today, they are very valuable messages for you. It will go a long way in your career. It will go a long way in guiding you, in making you wiser as to how to start the career and how to, most important is, getting into a job is easy, sustaining the job and growing in the organization is very difficult. You have to continuously perform, you have to continuously do things which others are not doing, which you are supposed to be doing better than your peer group. So these thoughts which you have just heard from the eminent speakers here, please ensure that you take value back out of those thoughts and remember them. Then we heard a very interesting Jugaad theory from Mr. Raina. Now it was good to get a different perspective of this Jugaad. We have been, India, it's very interesting. We all live and do some kind of a Jugaad in life. He is absolutely right. Why we do that? Why this word Jugaad is famous in India? And as he rightly pointed out, that it is the innovation, nothing else. It's an Indian version of innovation or being creative. Why we do it is because, my opinion, we all live with a lot of uncertainties in life. When a child is born in India, he starts struggling. And that's the struggle which makes us do things which are generally not thought of. कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सपोर्ट हम लोगों को नहीं मिलता है. This morning's example, small example, my office is in Jasola, which is a 5 minutes drive from Jasola to this place. If everything is good, everything is normal. It took me 45 minutes or 50 minutes and 3 or 4 exchange of SMSs with Dr. Shukla that I'll be late. Now this is frustrating. This is something which is not in my control. My best of the estimation told me that half an hour should be a good time under worst of the traffic to reach this place. But still I was late. And this is probably in my 28, 29 years of career, this is probably 4th or the 5th time I have been late in my life. So whatever you do, whatever you plan, there is bound to be an uncertainty in life. So the best manager would be who can manage that uncertainty. You can predict, you can be logical, you can be data driven, but end of the day, you should be competent enough, skilled enough, and wise enough to meet those uncertainties and beat them also. And that's where this Jugaad comes in. Because challenges do come in life, and they would continue to come at every stage, at every path, at every level of your career. The name of the game is that, are you equipped? Are you wise enough? Are you doing the right things? And how many uncertainties you have been able to predict, and you have got a counter for that, and then you have left maybe one or two surprises which definitely would occur, and then you should be prepared to handle those surprises. So try to be absolutely ready to face the world. The world is changing now. That's what you heard from all of us here. And I am not going to tell you something very different than what you have already heard. The words could be slightly different. What our friend from Jubilant shared with you, how the world is changing, what kind of innovative approach and the speed to the market, meeting the needs of the customer is changing. How the organization has to be ahead of the game. It's a very simple theory that the speed of change inside the organization has to be faster than the speed of our change outside. You all have heard about it. And this is very, very true. If you lag there, probably you are going to die off sooner than anybody else would die off. You will be out of the system, out of the competition. So the world is changing. I have just got 2 slides. I am not throwing those slides on the board, but I'll just share with you. What are the 5 key drivers we have today in the industry, in the world today? It's the brand which matters. That what brand you are associated with, does it have a value? Do people recognize that brand? Do they associate themselves with the brand? What kind of expectations they have from the brand? So you have to make sure that the brand of the product or the services which you are providing should be known adequately. So that is important, it drives. The next thing which drives is the cost. What value addition you are giving, what is the cost? Because today the customer has a choice. There are too many variables available in any product, any service. You want to buy a shoe, you have got probably dozens of variants available. You want to buy a car, there are dozens of vehicles available in the same category. You want to buy anything in this world, a shirt or a daily use item, anything and everything is available in multiple choices. What drives it is the value and the cost competitiveness. The third thing is the quality. The product or the service which you are providing, what kind of quality standards you are maintaining, and how much is the consistency you are providing back to the market or to the consumer. Because a consumer will definitely not buy the product if it does not perform to his expectation. The important word here is not your expectation, not you have the way you have designed to make that product perform. The important thing is what the consumer expects out of that product. If you meet that standard and consistently meet that standard, that is quality. Otherwise, any other definition of quality in today's world is absolutely a bookish kind of a quality definition. It doesn't make any sense. The fourth thing is the choice, which I have already said that everyone has a choice today. You cannot say that I am producing this product, so please buy it, because I am producing it. You have to go to the market and you have to compete. And the fifth thing is, what extra value can you add to that product or service of yours? That's what sells. So you have to be cost competitive, your brand should be recognized, you should give value back, additional value back in the competitive world, and you have to be consistent in your quality and the delivery of the product or services, and at the end of the day, these all 4 or 5 factors together will make sure that you are a success. So as managers, when you enter the industry, please ensure and keep it in mind that these are the 4 or 5 things, golden rules, which are today driving the industry, driving the corporations, driving the product, and you can have a consumer buying into your product or service only if these 5 parameters are maintained by any organization. Now, if these are the change agents or the drivers, how do we handle it? Something which all of them shared with you. It starts with the leadership, and it all depends on people like us or people like you who would be the future leaders. It depends on us. Leadership is nothing. Leadership is basically you should be able to create a vision and you should be able to define that vision to the organization, to the associates, what is in it for them, what is in it for the stakeholders, and what is in it for the consumer. So leadership is very, very important. A leader's role then culminates into a direction, that he is supposed to give a direction, that this is the vision, now here are the directions, how do we reach that vision, how do we reach that goal. Objectives have to be defined and then a direction has to come. That is again a leadership role. And in every facility, every organization, people say that I'll look at my boss to tell me what is to be done. But where we fail to understand is that every domain, wherever we are responsible, even a first line supervisor on the shop floor, he is actually a leader of that area. He is actually the king of that area. He takes the calls, he takes the decisions, he decides during those 8 hours what is right, what is wrong for the organization. So his ability to take the right decisions and implement the right policies and extracting the right kind of performance outputs from the assets which have been given to him or allocated to him, he should be able to deliver that. And that's what is important, and that's what is the leadership role on the shop floor. So even a director is the same leader and a supervisor is the same leader. In my definition, both are equal. It's the accountability of which defines the leadership. It's not the level, it's not the hierarchy, it is not the what you call as a chairman of the company or a middle management level, or you call it a first line managers. Everybody is a leader, everybody is chairman of that area. So please remember that the day you enter the industry, the day you enter the job, you actually into a very different role, and that's where you start deciding how do you want to grow in life. It's your own decision. Nobody decides your growth. You got to decide it. There was an excellent book I read a few years ago, The Destiny is in Your Control. You want to control your destiny, you control it. You give it to somebody else, your control is gone. Then you have to, whatever pain comes out of it, when somebody else is driving you or controlling your destiny, or a pleasure comes out of you, is actually a given which you will have to accept the way it comes. You really have no control on that. So try to have your own control. Try to have the control of your own deeds, your own work, your own career. You decide what you want to do. The next thing is the engagement of the people, which in industry we these days say, one of my friends here said that people are most important. I think you touched it, sir. People are most important. We always say that I have got the best of the machinery, I have got the latest of the technology. But who in turn is actually going to use that? It's the people. So their buying in, their engagement, their understanding of the objectives, their ability to use that equipment to the best of the capabilities is the skill set which we must ensure. We have to create that passion in the people who work with us. We have to create that what you call involvement, what you call the belongingness to the task, the way we feel it. Same desire, same belongingness has to be developed in the people. So as managers, it becomes our role to make sure that all my team, all my members, all my associates are thinking on the same level as I am thinking, are attaching the same value to the task the way I attach it. So that is engagement of the people. And finally, what we say is the customer is the king, the consumer is the king today. Nothing would succeed if the consumer is not happy. So you've got to take care of the customer. That is what is important. And these are some of the challenges, some of the drivers, some of the factors which we will have to keep in mind. More or less, I have shared with you what we generally do in the organization today. This is how we are running the company. This is how I believe most of the companies would be running today, because there are no other mantras or rules in the organization which would make an organization successful. You make or break a company if you drop any one of them. Any one of them is not handled properly, you will see the result would be negative, definitely. People are important, objectives are important, definition is important, belongingness is important, the same desire, the same goals are important, and consumer has to be your face. You cannot say that I will do this and you will do it and you will buy my product. No, that doesn't work these days. So these are some of the changing scenarios in the global perspective. Keep it in mind, because sooner or later you guys would be getting into the corporate roles, getting into the industry, getting into the jobs. So the day you enter the job, all these things would become important for you. Today is the learning time, so spend as much time as you can getting the book knowledge, learning from your professors, sharing the experiences with them, understanding what they tell you, what they communicate to you. Whenever we people like us get a chance to come and interact with you, listen to us. We generally, all of us have shared today our personal experiences, and they are important. All of us sitting on the desk here or the dais here, together about 5 of us would have more than 100 years of experience. I mean, where will you get this kind of an audience? Where will you get this 20 minutes into 100 years of experience by 5 people? Imagine what you are getting. And I see people moving out. I felt a little bad just now, about 15 minutes back, 10 minutes back. Is it the interest? Are you guys not interested to listen to us? That's okay. But then you do not know what you are going to lose. Today you will not realize it. Tomorrow you will realize it. Those who are sitting here probably would remember these words and realize it. Those who have gone out, they would miss something and they would never realize it because they don't know. They are unaware of it. So the most important thing in life is a self-discipline. If you choose to do something, do it sincerely. If you think that this has no value to you, don't do it. It's okay. Perfect. Don't do it. You have to have your own belief and your own conviction in place first. If you don't have your own belief in place, you will never succeed. Nobody can succeed in life. And belief comes when you actually put in effort. You put in effort when you have a desire to put in effort, when you have something to achieve, when you are convinced that yes, there is a value in it. So try to find, first of all, value in every activity you do. Just don't spend your time doing the things just for the sake of it. Never do something for the sake of it. Every minute, every ounce of energy you have is important. Don't waste it. I also joined this company 28 years ago as a management trainee from the college, like you guys. So if I can make it to a managing director's role, I think all of you can do it, wherever you join. But you will have to be disciplined, you will have to be sincere and honest, you will have to decide what you want to do, and then you will have to go on a specific target to achieve that objective. You will have to be very, very consistent in life. So discipline, honesty, sincerity, consistency. That's all as a human being you have to do. And then the task which has been given to you, always attach it to the customer, attach it to the consumer, and try to see that if I were to use this product, if I were to use this service, what would I expect? And am I delivering that as a product or as a service? The moment you get an answer, you are done. So these are my words. Thank you very much once again, ma'am, and the organization here. And I wish you all the very best.